It's normally 5 days bread, you start smelling ogoro, as we say it in word like pami. And they'll say no bromates. I don't know. So she came to raise a concern, to raise awareness, so that people will know we can be eating bread, thinking that, oh, I can keep this bread for 2 years. And meanwhile, in 5 years' time down the line, you have more cancer of something. Me, on my own, I just feel that the CEO of that company, of Bomb Bread or whatever it's called, I think she was too swift. And it's like using sledgehammer to kill a fly.
It's the big, big conversation.
Welcome back to the show. A simple social media post, one observation, and suddenly, it's a full-blown legal battle with 50 million naira on the line. The question that keeps coming up is, are consumers still free to speak? Or are we entering an era where every expression post comes with a lawsuit? But beyond all of that, is it normal for bread to last that long? What really goes into preserving what we eat? And at what point should consumers be concerned? Joining us is an award-winning cake artist and creative entrepreneur, the founder of 1,000 Bites Confectionaries, known for crafting premium cakes and desserts that don't just taste good, but create unforgettable experiences. Please join me in welcoming Gladys Doinsola Oyiwole to the show. It's great to have you on the show. Welcome. How are you feeling this morning?
Fine.
Okay. Just like we were saying before, that you're here to educate us. I mean, all through the weekend, we saw the whole brouhaha on social media, you know, from one post sharing how bread lasted 32 days to her getting a lawsuit to, you know, one thing and the other. And, you know, subsequently, a lot of other people were posting their own thoughts. And genuinely, I will not lie, if it was me in this case and I saw bread last after 1 week, it's still fresh.
It wasn't 2 months actually.
I might not have thought it's too. I'm like, these people are really trying. No, it's still fresh after, you know, such a long time, right? But it seems like there's a whole lot more to that. So I mean, from your experience, you know, and from how everything unveiled on social media, are people genuinely, you know, maybe putting preservatives or putting a lot more than should be in what we're eating these days?
So from my own perspective and my knowledge, I would definitely say they probably added more than it should be. So I feel like there's always I actually know there's a proportion, there's like a gauge or a quantity that you're supposed to put. And once it's over and beyond, I mean, that's why we have the bread staying for up to 2 months, because I wouldn't expect a bread to stay as long as that and mold is not coming out or anything.
What's like the normal shelf life for fresh bread?
For fresh bread, like 3 to 5 days.
3 to 5 days.
Yes.
Because at least I know back in the day, you start getting the signs, it will start smelling funny, and then discoloration until you have to throw it away. But it looks like these days is a lot different.
It actually happened to me like 2 weeks back. I was still talking about it with my friend or somebody that I put a bread on my table for a period of time, and I'm like, this bread is not getting spoiled. I'm just like, are we safe? Like, is it okay? So yeah, I actually did, but it wasn't for that 2 months. It was for like 2 weeks, and the bread was just sitting there. So my thought was, why is the bread like staying for this long? Because I'm not really into bread, but sometimes I'm like, oh, let me just make bread for my family. And we definitely saw the bread staying for longer, and I'm like,
something is wrong, something is fishy.
Exactly.
Something is fishy. Okay, well, barrister, thank God that we have barrister on the table now, because, you know, soon after we saw that they called her out for defamation, even though, yes, people were saying she didn't publicly admit to which bread brand it was. And now the big question is, can people not express their thoughts? If I feel something is dangerous to my health, in this case, whether it's bread, or I know some people even say sometimes frozen chicken, they're always injecting, you know, things into it. Can people not just come on social media and call out the entity without, you know, fearing any lawsuits now?
Yes, you can do that. My own is, you know, they say there's freedom of speech, but there's also responsibility after the freedom of speech. I think this thing is happening for a reason. It will a lot of people will start learning, because loads of people, they are really flippant on social media. However, my concern is, when a concern is raised and the response is very swift, that was just me for it. Even though she's trying to protect her reputation as a businesswoman now, it's going to be like a two-edged sword. Because if you press this woman's neck with lawsuit, defamation suit, come and pay 50 million a year, what is the perception of the people? Because she's too swift. You can come out with another angle and say, no, we are not like this. This is we have customers that have been buying. People can attest to it.
Look into it.
Yes. Me, I just feel that, is it that they are trying to cover up something? Or because for me, that woman was just, she's an entrepreneur. I think she sells.
Yeah, she has a shop.
I think she's very enlightened. She tried to conceal. She didn't mention the name and everything. But some people are now saying on the comment section, somebody mentioned, maybe the person has similar experience. Even me, until now that she's speaking, I was feeling that, she's not just coming to just say that. But now somebody here is saying that she experienced it. Normally 5 days bread, you start smelling ogoro, as we say it in word, like pami. And they'll say no bromates. I don't know. So she came to raise a concern, to raise awareness, so that people will know we can be eating bread, thinking that, I can keep this bread for 2 years. And meanwhile, in 5 years' time down the line, you have more cancer of something. Me, on my own, I just feel that the CEO of that company, of Bomb Bread or whatever it's called, I think she was too swift. And it's like using sledgehammer to kill a fly. This thing can be ironed out, because whatever she's doing now, it will bite her, whether good or bad. If they press this woman's neck too much, the people too will be like, perception is of the people. You can tell from the pause of social media people. So I don't know.
I'll take Chisom's thoughts at this time. I mean, are you of the same opinion, where she probably reacted too quickly? Maybe she should have paused. Should they have? Well, they said the CEO actually said she reached out to her to have a sit-down conversation, but she refused on the other end, saying she did not mention any brand, right? So, I mean, in this case, would you say maybe there's a better way that it could have been resolved?
She can say, okay, right.
She said that's how much they lost in the days after she spoke about it.
But she's the one that brought the issue out. After that woman spoke, me, I would have watched her, listened to her. I won't even avert my mind to anything. When she came, it's like she amplified the voice of that woman. That's my own subjective
thoughts. Okay, opinion.
So, these things they are relative. As I said in the WhatsApp group, there are two sides to the story. At the same time, we're also looking at a situation, I don't know if I can call it consumer to producer, like what we have in the educational field, or we say town and gown. So there is a bit of a rift, if I can say that, or a bit of not understanding each other. Because, I mean, we had a situation like that where someone was also given, there was a threat to life. So that's the case of the woman who spoke about tomato. In fact, I think she lost a pregnancy in the process.
Was it one about the sachet tomato before?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a similar where she also got,
So, and then the other perspective which I wanted to also bring out is the swiftness of the law now, these days, to litigate and to sanction and to bring to bear, some of these complaints, which are supposed to go through consumer complainants, channels, which every producer or manufacturer should have. So, and then I also see that the complainant or the person who had actually mentioned this her observation, is not enlightened enough. Because when you go to your comment section and someone mentions a brand, which you had already, protected, said you are not, showing any brand, you now want to go and elaborate and accept, and then that is what is even that is a litigation. That is where the litigation is, that somebody commented and you said yes, or you encourage. Yes, she liked it. It's everything you do now speaks. And then the lady, the Born Bread, she came out with her own story, because I had to listen. They said she's not even on social media, that it was people who were now telling her that, look, there's a controversy, and that's what's affecting your product, your business. How much you are bringing, that is bringing it down. She now made a disclaimer that she has suffered, she's a widow, she has done so much, she has invested so much, and what have you, that she's trying to even reach out to this lady, and she has blocked her. So you see, that's where I'm talking about, brand to brand, business to business, business to customer. There's a big controversy. The legal is making it worse. The non-enlightenment of the person who is making the complaint is also making it worse. So I think everybody should sheath their sword, at least for a bit, and listen to each other, and let us even come to a consensus, because this is not really making a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I even want to touch on the whole aspect of calling out brands on social media. Maybe we can get to know the legal aspect, because I think people don't even know the line between me expressing myself, or freedom of expression, and defamation. At what point am I, slandering this brand? What if I'm really just, okay, what if I took this, cup of tea and I had a runny stomach, and can I not, should be the social media you can talk any, can I not come and, talk? And so before we have Barrister told you, from your experience, I don't know if you've probably had where people call out your brand for say, oh, I ordered cake from you, and by the time I was already seeing green things. How have you been able to handle all of those things? Because I think the food industry itself is very, very prone to things like that. So that, I mean, we're getting to see your own perspective as the food owner, so that other owners or other business owners can also know maybe other ways to react to social media call-outs like this.
So most importantly for my brand, we've been able to, because I mean, cake is, most times we don't use preservatives at all when it comes to my home business. I don't know about other bakers, but I'm speaking for my own self presently. I would say that we don't use preservatives at all. So on our boxes, we've been very intentional over the years to always put that kindly keep refrigerated. So it's just like your pot of stew. You don't add preservative to your pot of stew. So you can't put your pot of stew on the table and not expect it to get spoiled if you don't either preserve it in the freezer or your fridge, or warm it up over time. So for me, we've been able to put that. And away from baking, I actually cook. So for my food business too, we've been able to put a structure in place whereby we have like stickers that goes out with every food that we make, and it states that, oh, once you get your food, if you're not consuming immediately, kindly refrigerate it to avoid spoilage and all of that. So yeah, for me, I feel like a structure has been put in place. So it just now takes you, if you come back to me to tell me, oh, your food got spoiled,
do not ask some
bring that
questions.
caveat. I put a caveat.
Did you refrigerate
Didn't you read? Exactly. Because over time, so I feel like it was due to people's feedback from, so I can remember last December, so this whole thing about the food was just this year for my business. So we delivered a food package for Christmas on Christmas Day to my friend's mom, and then she reached out and she called me and said, oh, our food got spoiled because he had fried rice, he had village pasta. So we wrap it in a way that even if once you see it, you know that your food has not been tampered with. So the right thing for her to do at that point was, after receiving it, I mean, we had allowed it to cool down from our own hand. But I mean, sometimes it still gets trapped in the food, like when you package it. So we had already done the delivery, and I think she just left it on the table. She didn't attend to it. So by the time she was going to consume, it already got, like it was already slimy. So it was from there, I'm like, oh, we have to put a structure in place. Like there would be probably some clients that would have the same issue, but would not come to tell us about,
and they just won't patronize anymore.
So I just came up, I sat down, tried to figure it all out. We have like 10 instructions, so you just go through it, and if you come back to tell me anything like that, I mean, we have like something to back it up. That
when they say sign policy,
so intentionally what I do is, if I feel like it's a bowl, where you are going to open it from is where I'm sticking it on. So at least you're able to read, and you are not coming to tell me. I'm going to ask, didn't you open the food yourself? Didn't you read the instructions? So I mean,
I think so. What she's now saying, in essence, is if you have a brand, just like the woman who is clearly being incited, or I don't know what the word now, that is, her business is being impacted by this. She has been in business, I think she said 2 decades.
And 20 years.
For all indication, she has put in a structure in place, a system that would help to keep her safe from litigation or from backlash from consumers. So what stops you as a business person from growing yourself? Because that's a problem we are seeing here currently. if you are a business person, you put in so much in your brand, and over years, you yourself has not grown. If you don't grow, that's the level at which your business also will stay. Because she has sat down this year and put a system in place, making sure that you attend to the food that she has sent over to you.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of things are not in place here, and we're not communicating effectively. Both the law is not communicating with the person they are litigating against, the woman has not communicated properly. Because I also wanted to ask, was that 2-month-old bread, was it in a fridge? Was it out of the fridge?
No, it wasn't.
Was it?
So she said it was in her shop, where usually if they don't sell out the bread, they would come to pick it up and replace with fresh bread 2 days later. But they didn't come to pick it up, so it literally has just been there. And then she noticed it had been there for a while. So that was how it wasn't in the fridge, or anything. So that was how she noticed that it was still looking fresh and brand new. But not back
she
to
made a mistake, Sha. For her to join issues with the person on her comment section, that was
what I wanted to say. Yes,
that was defamation.
She now went back to like
because your own opinion, you cannot place it as fact. What did you verify? What is the what forensic whatever, or you went to a food lab and they say, okay, this bread has so and so. That's the only time you can come to the internet and start talking like that. She did very well at the first place, but I didn't see the comment section. However, we should not, because of I think we are about to be being gagged.
yeah.
Consumers cannot talk again. You talk about the tomato paste now. Something happened, and then the person was picked up, maybe led to loss of pregnancy. You go to the market, you hear all kinds of things, that they even add dye to palm oil.
Yeah.
All kinds of things happening. Before you know, you land in UCH, you don't know what is happening. If we have a country that is really working, all these things, there should be department or parastatal that will be putting things in place. Or they even come into this matter and say, okay, your bread, let us take it to the lab. And you, madam, too, you didn't do well. You're talking, joining issues with somebody in the comment section. It's both ways, but me, I feel that she's too swift. The internet court, the people there, they will judge her. This thing, even if they pay her 50 million, her business will still be affected. So if I were in her shoes,
tomato brand,
yes, if I were in her
that,
shoes,
yeah,
you play safe. Just she can tone it down a bit from that 50,000 naira.
But something that came to
million.
mind really is, hearing the CEO's perspective. It could be all true, where you are doing, you are baking your goods all from the kindness of your heart. You really want to give quality and maintain freshness and all of it. But you are not from yourself to all consumers. You have distributors, you have, you are giving to stores and shops. The same way people say they receive chicken and they're injecting it with something. Have you maybe considered, maybe it's not from you, but it could be in the line of delivery, where people,
No, I don't think so. It's
I
only
really
the
don't know,
owner
but
of the brand that want to.
comes from the bakery.
But so there's no loophole in between where nobody can, because I mean we see that for some drinks, we see that for, because that when you get some drinks or some food products from some particular stores, it's not it has an off taste or off smell, right? So sometimes I really just think maybe it's not even from the person at the top, probably doesn't even know. It's probably
but
in
issue
between.
of bread, 5 days maximum. Even if you put it in the fridge, it will be crusty.
Yeah.
And then for somebody on the comment section to say something about the brand,
that something
maybe
is-
the person has experienced it. Something all along, I was feeling that is this thing even real?
I'm
But
telling
now
you, it
she's
happened
saying
to me.
it
It
has happened to her.
me. Like it happened to me.
Something is happening. If these producers don't care about the health implication of these things, it's not fair on the people.
Yeah.
And then there should be more awareness on people, so that when we want to talk, she really tried though. She tried. She did everything. Maybe she felt that she was inside the inbox. She can just jive.
I mean, my next question is probably, how do we now, because the truth is many consumers might not even know whether it is bicarbonates that this one should not have, or maybe potassium that this one should not have. So I mean, from your experience, what should basically consumers look out for, maybe when they're buying food stuff in general? Should we is there like a standard we should use as a template? Okay, if I want to buy this, it should have this. If I see something that stands out, then I probably should not get this. Just so we're also
So I just
safe.
feel like away from that, on the nylon now, basically, it's just still going. They're still not going to tell you exactly.
Everything.
So even aside, you just need to watch out. If you can bake your bread, really, just make it. If you can't, then you try to probably look for a brand that you know you can trust. Maybe you do the test of leaving your bread for a period of time to actually see. Buy different brands. Because if you, to be honest, if I tell you, oh, look out for this, look out for that, on their nylon, they are not telling you, we added this, we added that, to be honest. So it just takes you being intentional about your health at this point, because these days a lot of people are coming down with cancer, different sicknesses that you can't even seem to fathom or figure it all out. So,
okay, we're almost running out of time. So before Barrister Toju gives us the distinction between expression and defamation, Chisom, I don't know, do you think people are too quick to call out brands now on social media? Because we've seen through the evolution of social media, any small thing, I requested something, you not deliver it on time, I'm already posting on social media and calling out the brand, right? Whether it is maybe low-key, you're the one that did not send delivery details, but they're still coming, you know, on social media to talk. Because some people were also saying, in this case, were her facts true? Because we cannot verify whether it was truly 2 months, except those who have similar experiences. So, I mean, generally speaking, do you think people sometimes are too quick to, you know, go to social media because they want the social media courts to judge the brand real quick?
So, first of all, what was on my mind before you asked your question is, what is the place of NAFDAC and SON in awareness creation for things like this? So, these are opportunities. Something that this is a story that has gone, you know, viral and is trending. It's an opportunity for government organizations to come up on speed and enlighten and create awareness and advocate for good food and things like that, you know, like, you know, give us a rundown, just as we're asking the chef here. Should just tell us, okay, the first thing you should expect from your bread, okay, the last thing you should expect from your bread, your baker, you know, so you leverage on and climb on the trending conversation to bring to bear and to make us feel comfortable. We are paying tax, you know, taxpayers' money to keep you people in business. Because I know what it takes for a NAFDAC or SON to actually, you know, certify somebody. In fact, as a matter of fact, I have a you know, market viability product that I took to Accra. By the time I came back to Nigeria, I had to find a way of removing everything around NAFDAC and SON to focus on the problem that I actually want to solve for women postpartum, you know, really. Because at the end of the day, but if you had a 1 million naira to invest in that, you know, solution, you end up paying NAFDAC 900,000. But that's by the way. So I'm going to leave that conversation, but at least you all has heard. And NAFDAC and SON should climb on trends and, you know, conversations like this to make themselves
some sensitization.
important. Because we are not seeing your importance. I'm sorry to put it that way. You know, sometimes because the two of them are actually two organizations that are sitting and doing the same thing. You know, we had actually brought them to a conversation recently, and they were saying the same thing. So back to what you were asking.
People judging brands quickly.
People are frustrated. People are tired. People are, you know, looking to trend. People are looking for conversation starters and trending issues that can make them to go viral. So if it's to call out somebody, people are even tired of life. So I saw someone saying that his father was an OS recently, that his father married so many wives and had so many concubines, and his music started to trend. Yes, and he has been playing, he has been in the field for a long time, and nobody recognized him until he called his own father out, and then people started to, you know, celebrities began to recognize him. So I feel like people are not exactly, you know, in a space where they even care anymore. They are just wanting, because I even see people do a lot of things online these days that are not,
that might not even
that are not ethical.
We don't even need to see it.
I don't want to say. So the call out.
I didn't even have that. After Professor Akunyili left that place,
everything just started to go downhill.
Recently, I saw a story on the internet where NAFDAC, they said they closed down some shops in Aba or Onitsha, and then those people were alleging that NAFDAC were saying pay a particular sum of money and you get your shop reopened. In the first place, that means the drugs were bad. That was one of the things late Professor Akunyili was fighting, because I think a relation of ours died from operating drug during in the theater. So we don't have, like I said before now, when you want to look for the eye of the fish, go to the head. If the head is rotten, the eye will be rotten. So God will just deliver us. But defamation is, it occurs when a false statement is presented as fact. And it harms the person that you made the statement, which is what the woman is fighting after or against, so that to protect her name, that you have caused harm to my business. And once you put it in writing and then 2 or 3 people can see it or read it, you have defamed the person. She just made a mistake by joining issues with people on the
So her mistake was acknowledging
those
statements that
was where she was indicted.
But that does not stop us from saying that there are loads of people adulterated goods in the market, up to palm oil, different things. They just to make money. People do a lot of harmful things to the people. They don't care. Even up to soft drinks, even beer in the market. You see some people bottling drinks in their backyard.
Yes. We see those videos on social
We don't
media.
have a control, a parastatal that is in charge of it. If not, like she said, what is that NAFDAC? What are they doing?
Precisely. I know someone had mentioned that instead of her posting on social media, she should have reported accordingly to FCCPC. But I mean, there's still many narratives, supporting and negating that as well. But we still have our agree or disagree segment up ahead, so stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's been an interesting conversation. We'll be talking about how bread can have 9 lives and how to watch out for the dangerous ones. But let's see our agree or disagree statements. We agree or disagree and defend our answer. We still have our guest, our chef and culinary artist with us, and she would still be sharing, a few things with us. So let's see our statement for the day. Okay, many call-outs are driven more by emotions than facts.
That was what I was saying.
Many call-outs are driven more by emotions than facts. Agree or disagree? What do we have? Agree or disagree? Driven more by emotions than facts. Agree or disagree? Gladys, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Because you're going to have to defend your answer. Whether it's bread, though, whether it's cake, are people doing it mostly out of their emotions, or there's an element of truth in it?
So for me,
you'd agree?
Exactly.
You'd agree.
Because sometimes, like she was talking about a musician that was calling out his dad, and then, so I feel like that was just like out of emotions, how they felt. But for the bread call out, I mean, for the lady to come out to say, oh, this bread has been on her shelf, and away from that, it happened to me. Mine wasn't for up to 2 months, but let's say 3 weeks, and the bread was sitting there, and I was just looking like, this bread
and
is
you did not call out the bread.
Why did you call out any? So what were you going to do? Were you
I
going
just
to
trashed it. I just
I
trashed
think
it, and
that
I'll
woman,
be
she wanted to
intentional.
sensitize the people.
Everybody,
Watch out, there might be bread that are loaded with.
So now, for me now, even because I'm now like I speak now on TV, I hardly even go on live anymore. Because I'm like, I have to be careful what I say. What am I going to talk about? What sector am I going to be spilling on? Because at the end of the day, even there was a comment I made on LinkedIn, and they follow me. So I did not even answer anybody. Because at the end of the day, people are driven by emotions. People are angry. People want to call you out for even, why do you even speak? Who gave you mouth? So, and then the facts are there. That you saw the bread 3 weeks. My dear, what's going on?
And I mean, just like you mentioned, apparently a few other people have made similar claims. So what's not okay? Maybe they did not
Maybe
acknowledge.
they did it.
But the person did. Like, I feel like the other lady, the lady we're talking about right now, was very intentional. She tried to cover the brand, and like some people were saying in the comment section, like, oh, it's not only the brand that has that particular packaging, because she was very discreet, except you like now pay attention, so much attention. But the other person I saw on social media that she called out 2 bread brands. I could literally see the name of, in fact, I was trying to look for that person, to be honest, because I'm like, and I know the bread brand in Ibadan. I was just like, wow, like, how? So for me,
That's
I'm
why
just
I'm
like,
saying
I'm
the
just like,
CEO,
it was
she's a bit
just
sweet.
like
No,
exactly.
it wasn't
because-
even, I don't think it was her. It was her legal team. It was
Yeah,
her
because
legal
she
that
department.
decided
said
to-
she's not online.
It was her team because she is not even on social media.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden they saw this and then they started to act. Before she could even, she just needed to say a word. Do what you want to do or don't do. But she saw that her sales was declining. She has to also agree with them that, okay, let's, 50 million, oh yeah, let's do this.
So it means like other
But
people...
what is the time frame between when she came out to speak and when the thing was?
So
It
because
was
of
all,
social
it was all
media,
within. It was all within
it's
the
all
same
because
week,
of
so it was
social
not-
media.
It was not
As you
far
are
apart.
sleeping, comments are dropping on
It was
posts
not far
that you
apart.
made
Yes,
14 hours ago or even 2 hours ago.
It wasn't far
So
apart.
within the time you are sleeping, that is how many hours? 8 hours or so. A lot is already happening online. So in this social media age now, there's a lot of fast-paced, judgments,
Yes.
and the social media courts is ahead of your.
Is the court of law. I know we've spoken about social dragging people on social media
Yeah,
and
yeah,
why
before,
sometimes
yeah.
we often resort to that because it seems like the process is faster. It might not work for everybody. There are
Yeah.
times when you call out a brand, nobody might send you. It might just be your friends.
Just
that
like
will-
what she was saying
that
about
will say-
Ibadan own might not trend like Lagos.
It might just be you and your friends that are shouting, but there are some where people do it not with the intention of clout or anything, but they do it because they really want to bring awareness to it, and it goes viral real quick, and then they see that there are results and like this format works, so and then some people will now abuse it. So I mean, for the statement, I'd agree because I agree that sometimes people are driven by emotions. Because they might feel so hurt that they might not even realize that they might also be part of the problem. Say, for example, I ordered something, is this dress I want to wear for an event this Saturday, and I've sent all the details, whatnot, and I probably do not follow up, and I do not, I'm probably not even checking my messages to see that, oh, I've gotten repeated messages on where is your address, or I probably sent a wrong address or something. So sometimes it could just be, oh my gosh, I really wanted to wear this dress, no, and I'm like, this brand, they really did me dirty and all of that. It could be by emotions. But then it also could be facts, because if I experience something, especially if it's more than once, there are some brands that I know now that I cannot patronize because one, you can say, okay, is a mistake. But the second time, can I want to trust you again? The third time, I know it's your pattern of
Once your
life.
brand is doing dirty, the first time, it's my money. I go to the next place. There are so many people doing the same business. And by the way, the business owner, why don't you just, since you know that this brand is this and you want to actually do this, first, as a business owner, there's a number there. Call the number. Sometimes the number will not go. That's your alibi. That's your, like, okay, so that would have been part of the conversation we're having now, but you did not do that. You just carried bread. And then you two went to the comment section. And I already said it here. You should empower yourself. You should learn. As a business owner, you should not be stuck with the knowledge of yesterday. You did something about your own brand to make sure that you keep yourself safe and your brand safe.
Constantly learning,
evolving.
I think you mentioned something about growth as well. That we started it, a long time ago. You also need to keep, in line with trends. If you see that now people are not paying attention to labels, see that your label is very bold. Because sometimes you want to buy bread, you will not know it's wheat bread because it's written in one tiny place.
Or it's loaded with bromate. You lie and say bromate free.
The bromate will be one tiny times Roman, text. Well, Barrister, I told you don't want to still defend your answer.
No. It's the same thing. Emotions and facts. People, I want to believe that sometimes both, not. So I'm agreeing on that because, like you said, you ordered for a dress, then you are supposed to be size 14, and then you now brought size 10. Your emotions are like skyrocketing.
This was shading.
And then
me.
They're trying to tell me that she lose weight.
Can you imagine? So or maybe that woman, something has happened to a family member of ours who ate something and then maybe the person died. From that emotional part of it, let me sensitize the people. And maybe she's very huge on social media, or she has a person that picked that in and then forwarded it. From there, they start forwarding it. So the whole thing is so much. I pray they resolve it.
Well, I mean, she posted early today, or was it yesterday, where she said the law is taking its course, so she can't speak on the matter just yet, but she's appreciating
But yeah, she said
appreciating
they should bring
everybody.
50 million to the office.
And they said they should come to the solicitor's office. But let's see how it pans out, and let's see what people learn from this. Something you mentioned is integrity in business, and I think it's very, very important. That's at least one key thing we can take home from today's conversation. But just before we go, let's see our wise words on the web. Okay, Gladys, could you read for us, please?
Okay. Justice must not only be done, but must also be seen to be done.
Lord Howard. Okay, we must also see the justice. Barrister told you, we want to be seeing the justice. Please help us tell your fellow justice keepers.
We're in
We want to see the justice. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It's been an interesting and enlightening one. Thank you, ladies,
for having me.
as well. Today we've seen that speaking up as a consumer is important, but it also comes with responsibility.
Yes.
Because in a world where one post can go viral in seconds, the line between sharing your experience and facing legal consequences is thinner than we think. A big thank you again to our amazing guests for bringing insight to this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. And to you listening, remember your voice is powerful, but how you use it matters even more. I am the Edo Queen, and we'll see you in the next episode of
The Big Conversation!
Voices rising, stories told, truth unfolding, brave and bold. In this space we speak our mind, different views all intertwined. It's the big conversation where the real ones talk. From the heart of the nation we all take that walk. Through the fire, through the facts we don't hold back. It's the big, big conversation. Voices rising, stories told, truth unfolding, brave and bold. In this space we speak our mind.